Hello, 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 boys and ghouls. You are now entering the realms of the Poison Tea Party podcast. Buckle up, because this episode is one you are not going to want to miss. My name is Kaylee, and I am your host today. Alongside me, I have my beautiful mother.
That's me. Hi.
And my beautiful Aunt Tracy.
What up?
Coming at you live from my mom's basement somewhere in Middle America. We are so excited that you have joined in to listen today, and I am very excited to be hosting another episode. I've enjoyed writing, however, I am a next level procrastinator. But with this in mind, I think...
Yeah, that's accurate.
No! But with this in mind, I think everyone is going to be very shocked to hear the story I brought today.
Why do you do this to us?
I know.
Kaylee,
I'm sorry.
You have a problem with that. After your last one, everyone's like, oh my god, I didn't want to say anything, but
she's kind of cracked.
she may need some counseling. I mean,
Something's
I don't
wrong
know.
with her.
Oh, no.
And I also may need some counseling for having listened to that.
I put a disclaimer.
Of course.
So then it's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, well then you're good.
It's fine. This is fine.
Oh, shit.
We are so happy that so many of you are continuing to tune into our bi-weekly episodes. Make sure to tell your friends about us. Maybe not your mom. We're also doing something...
Unless your mom is me.
Yeah, unless you have, like, a cool mom.
Or me.
Not a regular mom, but a cool
I'm a
mom.
cool mom.
Sorry, I'm sneezing and coughing and sounding crazy into
Yeah.
the microphone. We just got over being so sick.
Yeah.
So, well.
And
we're
I'm kind of
sick.
still in it a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's...
sorry.
I'm free and clear.
Yeah, she's clear.
I'm
and
good.
free.
I should have like one of those big windows around me.
I brought
so
a
that
mask,
you don't get sick.
but I
saw
didn't
that.
use it.
I should maybe be wearing one, but this would not be so
It would not
successful
be working
with a
well.
mask.
No.
We're also doing something very special and giving our listeners a chance to interact with us on a different level. Halloween is coming up. For our next episodes, we really want to give everyone a chance to let us know some weird, creepy stories you have. This could be anything from paranormal to Bigfoot. If you're not comfortable having your name shared on the podcast, no worries. You can submit your story on our website at thepoisonteaparty.com under the Write Your Story tab, anonymously too.
Yeah.
I think this is an awesome idea and can help us really engage with you guys, our lovely audience. Woo!
We know you're out there.
We know you're out there. You're listening. You're cringing.
We see you.
Come on, hang out with us.
Come on.
Come join us.
Come join
Come
us.
We have to do our everything, every single episode.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
It is
I think that's really fitting for this episode, too.
Oh,
so,
Jesus. I
yeah.
am already.
Now I don't know.
I'm already mad.
Yeah, you're going to be pissed.
Great.
So, this is the Poison Tea Party after all, and we've been changing it up a little bit with our choices of poison. Today, we were all supposed to be drinking blood beers.
Listen, I'm sick. I can only do so much.
And I don't know why I'm not drinking a blood beer, but
They're delicious.
you know, I might get there.
She might.
My next
brought
one
my-
is gonna be a blood. I'll
It's
try it.
super good.
I brought my coochie board just for
The blood beer.
Oh, yeah, the coochie board.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that. So, my sister made this, and I'm going to post pictures. Oh, my God, it was so beautiful when
It's
she brought
so
it in. It's
pretty.
like a board of meat, cheese, veggies, pickled eggs, pickled fucking anything you can ever goddamn think of.
Everything that goes good with a blood beer.
Everything
in
is
our personal opinion.
Exactly.
And it was really delicious from what I could taste. I couldn't
It's
taste
so
any
good.
of it.
She wouldn't try the pickled egg.
Yeah, she should, though, because it's hella salty.
That's the only thing I can taste right now is salt. I'm not
You might
doing
really
that.
like it then.
Or not.
Or maybe I'll
Or
just
not.
have to wash it down with lots of beer. But here I am like a trooper, still drinking. So
I was gonna
fuck
say,
everything.
It's kind of
Same.
dry. The yolk is kind of dry.
Ew, then no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
It
I'm
is.
Good. I'm telling you what, though, if you've never tried pickled garlic,
Oh,
It's good shit.
you're missing out, man.
what the fuck? Where have I been?
Pickled asparagus is my shit.
My heart is like
I think
glowing
that
right
one
now.
was good, but it was it was just salty.
Yeah.
Like a good
Yeah.
taste. But the garlic is salty and it also has a little different flavor. I don't
It's so good.
I pickled anything. Just lay it on me. Just
Same.
put it right in
Yeah.
front of me.
I
and I'll
love
fucking
pickles.
eat it.
Pickled anything, delish. Okay, now I tried to come up with a fun name for this drink, but blood beers are just iconic enough. So,
exactly.
how's everyone loving their regular old Bud Lights tonight?
Listen,
I'm loving it.
I've been drinking longer than you've been alive.
I'm really loving it.
You fucking dick.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Of course I can.
You can
I
say whatever you
the
want.
She
fuck
says
I
whatever
want.
the hell she wants. All right, let's gather around, quickly pull up your favorite electric chair and your favorite poison because this episode is simply fucked up.
Great. I'm so thrilled.
So, before we get into the crazy shit, I decided to add a little something different to my episode this week, and I wanted to do a quick segment on some weird, creepy history facts that I've learned about.
Ooh.
Did you guys know that the inventor of the Pringles can had his body parts put into a Pringles can when he died?
What a fucking weirdo.
What? What?
Yeah. Frederick Barr was brought into the food industry to find a new way to store chips. The Pringles can that we all
And
know
store
and
body
love.
parts.
And body parts as well.
Exactly.
And wieners, because it looks like a wiener. I bet you that's what I bet you that's what's in there.
No. So,
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Well, if his body parts were in there, then yeah,
He might
his
have-
fucking wiener's definitely
he
in
might
there.
have
It's shaped
tested it
like
out.
a wiener.
But it was like probably the extra small Pringles can, and there was probably still
yeah, the
space
little
around
tiny-
it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cute.
Sorry.
That's so cute. No.
So cute.
Unfortunate.
The Pringles can that we all know and love because, hey, your chips aren't easily smashed, was created in 1966. Frederick was so proud of his creation that he told his children that's exactly where he wanted to end up. So in 2008, the family used the classic original flavor of Pringles can to store Frederick's ashes.
Oh, his ashes.
Yeah.
That just
Oh.
reminds me of my best friend, because she wants me to put her in a Mountain Dew bottle, and she told me
Grandma T be like,
she told me to make sure that her kids put her in a fucking Mountain Dew bottle.
that's iconic, actually. Like,
That's what she wanted.
Till it gets thrown out accidentally and everyone's like, where's Mom?
I told her I had her back.
What'd you do with Mom?
She's gonna delete my Google search history, or I'm gonna delete hers. Whoever dies first.
You
It's
know
a
what
great
would
idea.
be cute? This is really fucked up that I just thought of this.
What?
You know those little lip glosses that look like little Mountain Dew bottles?
Yeah.
What if you put some of her ashes in each of those so that everyone can have
And
their
put it
own
on a
little
necklace.
Yeah.
keepsake?
I'm totally doing it.
I
She's
think it's
gonna know
cute.
who. She's gonna know we're talking about her.
Oh, I know we're
hope
talking
you
about
do,
her.
bitch.
Yeah, I hope you know.
the more
We're
you
not
know.
saying her name.
I don't know. I don't think we should.
Okay, let's
Oh,
not.
fine.
I think we're just gonna keep her.
We won't
anonymous.
blacklist her
If
like
anybody,
that.
okay, anybody who knows me though knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I knew right away when you said
So it's fine.
you didn't have to say my best friend. You could have just said she wants her ashes in a Mountain Dew bottle, and
I
I've
mean-
been like, oh,
You would have known exactly who it was.
my girl.
Love that for her.
Before you get into this story, I am so sorry once again to our sensitive listeners, but I have to put a heavy disclaimer on the episode.
It's in red,
Jesus
folks.
fucking Christ with the red disclaimer.
I gotta let them know. We won't get flagged if you put a disclaimer.
I mean, we might.
We're
We might.
already flagged. You know why, Kaylee? Because I flagged it. I did.
Of course you did.
When people go to download the episode, it says explicit.
Well, it should.
As it
And
should.
I'm
Yeah.
like...
It should say triple explicit.
It should
for
say
real.
like,
But it was
a
like,
lot.
do you want to be explicit or not? And I'm like,
we don't have a choice.
I don't want to be, but I just was born this way.
This is just who I am.
Right?
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Thanks for
It is
that,
her-
guys.
It's her fault, for sure. For sure, it's her fault.
I'm not gonna lie, the story is actually psychotic, sickening, and shocking. However, in true Kaylee fashion, I always gravitate towards these kinds of stories. This episode is going to include a lot of sensitive content like sexual assault and exploitation, murder, and violence, along with some other heavy disturbing content. This episode's intent is to educate and bring awareness to the victim Vera Jo, not to exploit or offend. I would love more than anything to bring this girl a lot of justice as well. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah,
my
well-
coochie board looks nothing like it did when I first brought it.
No.
Yeah,
It took me
But you know
like
what? It's
No,
still
that
not
fucker's
too, like,
fucked up.
crazy. I thought it would be worse by now.
Bro,
So-
that thing took me forever.
It's beautiful. You should do that for a living.
No thanks.
Yeah.
People
Do you know how
pay
much
for
they
that.
make?
I mean, they would,
And
but
where did you get the little bowls?
the Dollar Tree.
Oh fuck, they're cute.
They're so cute, and I got these ones that I was pissed off when I got home, right? So I'm like, I got these short little plastic cups because I was gonna make the roses, and you have to make them in the plastic cups or whatever, and then flip them upside down. So I get home and I open them, and they're the fucking shot ones. So they got the
my
shot
God.
in the middle,
Duh.
and
The
then
hell?
the cup. So it's a cup like this, and then there's a little shot one in the middle.
They have those at the dollar store?
At the Dollar Tree, yeah.
That's how
Vegas
we
bombed.
drink in this fucking
Yeah.
place. What the fuck?
I was
What?
like, that's not what I was wanting.
No, because
Anyway.
you can't, like, put it
Plus,
in
the
right.
little bowls are cuter anyway, so.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
cute.
they're adorable. I thought they were like...
Nope, I got like 6 of them for $1.25, bitches.
Oh,
Dollar Tree
yeah.
at a Dollar Tree near you, and they got these.
Sponsor us.
They got these baby forks.
Yes, I want to be sponsored by
If we get
Dollar
sponsored by Dollar Tree, I would be so happy. Are you kidding? Use our code, the Poison Tea Party.
More fitting. There is nothing more fitting.
So iconic.
If we don't get sponsored by Dollar Tree now, I'm gonna be fucking
I'm gonna
pissed.
be like, what even is the point of this?
Oh my god, I'm always up in the candy aisle.
For
there.
real.
For real, that's the best.
Give me those fall
$1.45.
decorations. I'll be there.
Yeah, the kids.
Oh.
I'm like, they're like, "Can I get this?" I said, "Fuck yeah, you can, and you can get that too. Do you want
Right.
that over there?"
I'm always like, you can get 10 things.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
like, what?
Wow, whoa! But now they put in that $5 aisle, and I'm always
Uh-huh.
like,
We
you
steer
can get
clear of
5
that.
things, but not out of this aisle.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you, you can
It's
get
too
2 things.
bougie for us.
Yep. You can get 2 things out of this aisle, or you can get 10 things anywhere else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah.
Bro.
So Dollar Tree sponsor us.
Sponsor
I'm
us,
fucking-
Dollar Tree.
I'm fucking crying over here.
If I got to do like a promo code, I would be so happy.
Oh my
Go
god,
to
I'm
the
dying.
dollartree.com/thepoisonteaparty.com
Oh
to
my
get your
God, okay.
first free $10 off.
Don't. We're not
We're not sponsored
by
yet.
Dollar Tree.
But if we do, I'll flex.
But if you go there,
So will I.
so do I.
Yeah.
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 So fuck it.
What
so
she
do
said.
I.
Times is hard.
So do I.
Times is hard.
If times weren't hard, I would still go to Dollar
Yeah.
Tree.
Me too.
If I was a billionaire, I would fucking just spend $1
Walk in
billion
there.
in Dollar Tree.
I love because
It's
if
so
you
fun.
take more than 50 items up, they get mad at you.
They
Yeah.
do. They're like, ugh.
They're such
Again.
dicks.
So I'll be like, bitch.
And I'm always like, do you want me to spend money in here? Nah,
nah.
bitch.
What
Where
do you
do
want
your
from me?
priorities lay?
Lie.
Lie. Why is it always us
Lay.
correcting Kaylee? You went to college, bitch, and you graduated.
Yeah, you're the only one that did out of us.
I didn't even go.
Where do your priorities lay? Okay. Anyways. That's
This
enough
is going
of
to be
that.
a real fun episode.
All right.
Okay.
Hit it, girl.
Now, this was a rabbit hole kind of story. I mean, there's not a lot of information surrounding the case, and I had to do some serious digging and investigating on my own. This story is going to cover and focus heavily on the ideology of cults. Cults are something that really fascinate me. Not that I'm going to become like a cult leader or join one anytime soon.
Lies.
One of us.
One of us.
Seems like you've already
Yeah,
joined one.
We've already have one. So, but something to this magnitude is just insane to me. So when you initially look up the definition of cult online, it says a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. However, for this story, it resonates with the second definition of cults, a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. This case has often been compared to the Charles Manson cult, and more particular, the Manson family. A quick overview of this case: Manson was a cult leader who had his followers carry out several murders in the 1960s. Well, Sugar Babe had a lot in common with Charles Manson.
Sugar Babe.
Sugar Babe.
I was reading that, and I was like, what the fuck is a sugar
Who is
babe?
Sugar Babe?
Let's
Tell
listen.
me.
Sherry Lynn Emmons Brooks, most notoriously known of the name Sugar Babe, would be the leader and the one who would be known, allegedly, to orchestrate the murder of Vera Jo.
If you wanted to break this, is it a man or is it a woman? Is it a woman? Sherry?
Yeah,
Sherry's a woman.
Okay, so it's
Have
Kleb.
you ever known
It's
a
Kleb.
Sherry man?
Maybe. I feel like Tracy is only a female name, but I know plenty of male Tracys.
I have two. That's so weird. Or Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But did you know that Kelly started out as a boy name?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Tracy did.
Probably Dick Tracy.
Oh, he was the shit.
With
Oh,
his
yeah.
yellow
No one
jacket
can fuck
and his
with him.
fucking hat.
Can't fuck with Dick Tracy.
Anyways, I was trying to break this down into an acronym for this bitch's name. It's Kleb.
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 That makes sense, dude. That resonates. Kleb.
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 Carry on.
There isn't much known about Sherry's early life. I couldn't even find the exact year that she was born, but the story takes place in Findlay, Ohio. What we do know is that Sherry was placed into foster care at only 3 years old after the state learned that her father, who was known as Big Chuck, was...
Of course.
Yeah,
he
right?
was.
He was probably tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
Was
that.
sexually abusing her.
What a fucking loser.
What?
So, coincidentally enough, one of the orphanages she stayed in was Goshen, Ohio, which 30 years prior is where Charles Manson had also stayed. Throughout this story, there's a few things that she does that Charles Manson once did, not even regarding the actual case itself. So, there's some things I might add in here just to talk about because it's a little it's weird. It's interesting. If we remember anything from my previous episode, which took a deep dive into orphanages, we can only imagine what life was like for her there, but also we can kind of suspect what behaviors she may have gained from these situations.
God damn it, Keely. We're not going down this fucking road again.
Don't go down that road.
Like kids. Abandoned kids. Kaylee can't.
I know, I can't.
If you or anyone you know has any abandoned kids, bring them to...
Me, because shit will go down.
Last time Tracy was going to follow her chair, but now...
But now it's dropping papers and beer and
I'm not
shit.
as think as you drunk I am.
That's right.
Iconic. She said that so gracefully, so...
She knew what she was
doing.
Good.
She
knew what she was doing.
I'm eating coochie board.
I mean, coochie board.
So, some sources claim that once Sherry had turned 17, they had put her back in her mom's care because she had finally left Big Chuck. Because she had stayed with Big Chuck, who molested her.
Even after she was molested, she stayed with her? Oh, yeah. I can't stand that shit.
So fucking disgusting. But others claim...
stand that shit. If you stare at me...
Why are you staring at me?
Because you were...
She's pissed.
You were matching my fucking energy. You were staring at me.
I was. I was. But I wasn't going to admit that.
So then other sources claim that Sherry decided to move in with her father when she was of age of 18.
The guy that molested her?
Yes. She went back to him. Yes. Okay. But either way, regardless, she ended up eventually back in her dad's house.
But now that she's with Big Chuck, her mom's not around.
No. Her mom...
Correct.
Her mom is still in her life, but she doesn't live with Big Chuck. She had... I can't. Fucking Big Chuck. Okay.
No. Stop. We're the worst fucking people on the goddamn
Fuck this
planet.
Dude. Fucking raping little kids and shit.
Yeah,
fuck
but we're
you.
laughing. It's horrible.
None of that. We're laughing at his fucking name. The fuck is that name?
He's probably the smallest guy. He's small. He's real small. He's 5 foot nothing.
I don't know. Sherry is
You're gonna have to just carry on without me. Oh God! Now we lost her because she does this.
She always does this to my shit.
Look at now she's crying and she's gonna be over here crying for the next 20 minutes.
She's like literally in tears. I cannot right now.
I'm trying really hard.
This happens when Kaylee reads because
we can't because it's so funny.
Because Kaylee is not as authoritative as my sister.
Yeah, and so
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Kaylee doesn't be like enough.
I think it's funny.
Sometimes I just can't help myself. Okay.
Sometimes I just write shit to see if she'll freak out. It's so funny.
She does.
She will.
I will. Mm-hmm. I will do it. Okay, I think I'm okay now.
Okay. Carry the fuck on for a minute.
So, like we were saying, Sherry moves back in with Big Chuck, eventually. From, 17, 18. That's the age range we got here. Upon moving back in, she was sexually and physically abused by him. It's also been reported that he made her clean the house while being naked.
What a fucking loser.
I don't know what to say.
It's just so, what the fuck?
Kill him.
Exactly.
Why don't you hire the topless fucking maid service?
Yeah, they have those.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't use your own daughter.
No, because he can't abuse them.
Oh.
The same way that he can with his daughter.
Disgusting.
It's so disgusting. Big Chuck would kind of become the first Charles Manson copy. He put together his group of kids to go out and torment the town of Findlay, Ohio, with the kids sort of having this gang mentality. He was not only a disgusting pedophile, but a crazy manipulator, which is why his daughter would go back to him, and now he has this gang of his children running the fucking town.
They're his kids?
Yes. He would, bring them together, and it was kind of
just random kids. No, they're his kids.
His kids. His sons. They had put them together, and they go and fuck up the town.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm doing it wrong.
Right?
I've only got one son, and he ain't fucking up nothing.
No.
Because I'm gonna fuck him up.
I mean,
exactly.
Same, but...
With this life she was living, she becomes extremely promiscuous and starts sleeping with anyone in town, even her first cousin, Danny Bixler.
Oh, keep it in the family, I
guess. That's what she was taught.
Exactly.
So, I mean, what do you expect?
Ew.
The family was fine with this, calling them the quote-unquote kissing cousins.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fucking disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
Oh.
This is her first cousin. I can't even compare it to my life because it makes me literally want to fucking throw up.
It makes
your first cousin. Not only would she go on to have sex with her first cousin, but she ended up having a baby with him by the name of Scotty.
Oh, that's cute. That's
God.
real cute.
You know, though, I feel for her because she doesn't know I feel like she doesn't know better.
No, and that's what this story is
said,
so...
she's groomed.
Oh, yeah. This story just makes you so fucking pissed off because it's just a clear case of generational trauma, because when this goes on, it's just the same pattern. And it's sad, but it's also like, you gotta break it somewhere. You gotta fucking realize it
only
somehow.
The strong are going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like we're going to come across any of those anytime soon.
No. So, after she gave birth to Scotty, Sherry would then go on to marry Mike Maloney in 1982.
Who's
unrelated.
Not her cousin?
Nope. Unrelated.
Unrelated.
And would have her next 4 children.
Jesus.
Yeah, so...
That sounds like a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
I don't know. After 3, it's like, oh, what's one more?
Well, you guys are going to be
What's
really
one more?
fucking pissed off
What's
that
one
she
more?
had this
That's
many.
what they say about dogs, too, but as a person who's had 1 million dogs in their house at one time, I can tell you that there is a point when there's too many.
There's way too
I
many.
don't want a lot of dogs.
No.
Kids, I did at one point.
Well, she had 5. And what matters most in this situation is that all 5 of these kids were taken by CPS.
Oh my god.
All 5 of them.
Well, good
Probably
for them.
for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wish she would have been taken by CPS.
And actually, got to stay away. Scotty, Michael, Joshua, Maria, and a baby girl that didn't leave the hospital, thank God, were all taken from her by CPS. So, Scotty, Joshua, Michael, they were the only boys, right? And Scotty was taken away for molestation. Joshua was taken away for physical abuse. Michael, molestation. And then we get into Maria. Sherry began to grow a sick obsession over her 4th child, Maria. Yeah.
Well, she was brought up in this shit. This is what she was
She
brought
was,
up to be.
really sickeningly attached to...
Did she, finish school? Or did she...
No. Sherry began to grow the sick obsession over Maria. No one was allowed to hold her. And she would sleep in the room with Maria for the first 6 months of her life, alone.
I did that with you.
This doesn't sound weird, but
I was allowed
there
to
was
hold
a
her.
reason she was sleeping in there alone with her.
Oh, I didn't do that with you.
No.
No.
So, a pattern we also see is, Sherry, after they hit, 6 months, she's, done with that. She wants,
They're,
a new
too
one.
old now?
Yeah.
Because they might remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
She does that with all of her children.
Okay. What
So,
the fuck?
Scotty, that first one, that is a product of her and her cousin, would grow up and say something along the lines of how he doesn't think his mother could love her kids without molesting them.
So, how weird is it when a mother molests
It's pretty rare.
her children?
It's pretty rare. It's not unheard of, but it's not as prevalent as, the father
father.
or the uncle or something of that.
So,
It's
disgusting.
really disturbing.
As a mom, I can't even fucking imagine that mentality.
I mean, well,
that
they
would-
say, you either follow the pattern or you break the cycle, right? So, obviously,
doesn't break
she's
it.
following the pattern.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sherry herself would even go to say, you can't love your children without sleeping with them. Yeah, no.
Not nights.
Okay, Kaylee, what the fuck?
Right? While this is all happening, next door, Sherry lived in a duplex at this time. A woman by the name of Verna gives birth to Vera Jo on July 11th, 1986. Now, Maria would be taken shortly after Verna gives birth to her baby Vera. Verna stated that Sherry would often come over and ask to help with her baby, and would sometimes even be inside of her house holding her baby without ever inviting her in.
Absolutely fucking not.
Red
Yeah,
flag,
no.
red flag, right?
More than a red flag.
Why the
Get
fuck are you in
Yeah.
my
fuck
house?
Exactly. I talk about this.
Murder.
So I watched
Yeah.
this documentary this guy made about this case, and he talked about how because Verna had just given birth and brought Vera home, and really shortly after that, Maria got taken away, it was speculated that Sherry thought that Verna had called CPS on her.
Okay,
So she was like a
kind
jealousy-
of revengey,
Yeah.
kind of like
It was,
I'm gonna
very
fucking
weird.
do something to hurt you now. Thing.
Verna was like, no, I didn't say anything. How
Even
was I
if she
supposed to
did.
know? Who fucking cares?
Even if she did.
Thank God she did.
Thank
Right?
fucking God.
What a hero.
It seems that Vera's fate was already written for her from the very beginning. Now, every kid that was taken away from Sherry would be put into care by people who lived in the town, which was a terrible choice of CPS to do that.
Well, yeah, because they're still in the fucking area.
In
duh.
her town, in the Finlay area is small.
So there was still a chance they could be abused by
yeah.
Sherry. Okay.
Yeah. If we remember anything about Sherry's childhood, her father would continue to manipulate her so that she'd go back home, which is the same pattern she started doing with her kids.
Ew.
She would go and start building relationships with her kids that were taken, and once they reached a certain age, some of them would come back home to her. There was even a point where Sherry had went to prison for molesting a 15-year-old girl. She had mental disorders.
But it sounds like she just, anybody who can't talk about it or who's too small to remember
Is
or
prey and
That's
she's
what
on
she's
it.
doing. Yeah.
Oh.
So she wasn't in prison for long because she came right back out and started doing this all over again. I tried to access Ohio court documents, but they have it on lockdown. And I think also because of Sherry's 5 last names, it's kind of hard to, like, figure out.
Kleb needs to figure her life
Yeah,
out.
for real. So, it's unclear if she ended up spending any time in jail for the molestation of her children, but from what I know, it seemed that most of her charges were drug-related because of the gang that her father started with his sons.
You mean Big Chuck?
Yeah, Big Chuck.
Oh,
I
Big
thought
Chuck.
I was hoping we weren't going to say his name again, but I had to say it.
Just say it.
I'm not
So-
going to laugh this time.
Oh, he comes up again, like, right
Oh,
now.
God.
He started the gang with his sons, and with that, there's drugs involved.
What
selling
a fucking
them.
loser.
Okay.
Sherry would go on to marry Kevin Brooks, who was known to be really easy to manipulate or just not, like, all there. Something that really stood out to me about this marriage was Big Chuck would kick Kevin out of the bedroom Sherry was in and make him sleep in another room so he could go sleep with his daughter.
Disgusting.
This was well into adulthood for Sherry.
Sick. She's the mother of 5
At
children
this
at this point.
she
Gross.
had already had 5 children, taken them all away, and was on her second marriage. So, disturbing? Yeah. During this marriage, Sherry would have another set of kids.
Jesus.
4 boys. An additional
So she's
set.
got 9 fucking kids?
Yeah.
And she's molesting all of them.
Yep.
These are the times where I'm like, yeah, maybe they should make her get fixed.
Yeah.
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 You ready for their names?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Punky. Technically, his real name is Kevin Jr. Zachary, Garth, and Chucky.
Garth and Chucky?
Yeah.
Like murderer names?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Garth's not a murderer, but
Chucky?
I mean, he's
Be
kind of
for real.
psychopath.
Garth
I mean,
is like the best of the best. They can't have that
he's like,
name.
you know
No.
you are.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, but these
So-
names don't add. They don't do
No.
not compute.
Yeah, no. So,
For real.
these boys would carry on this gang mentality that their uncles once did, and would go on to torment the town.
Yeah, like when Sherry's like 50.
Yeah. Like, she's older by this point,
I was
because
going to say, because does she have these kids like all
Yeah.
growing up? No one takes them away?
takes these boys away.
Oh,
She has them their
my
whole life.
God.
And, okay.
Poor little boys.
So
Right?
they're probably just like
Oh, yeah. Like,
fucked up.
they are not all there. Like, there's not, like, an easy way to say that.
Poor
Like,
babies.
they're just not there. So, like I said, these boys would carry on this, like, Brooks legacy and start another gang up like their uncles did, like Big Chuck made his kids do. So Sherry's doing that with her kids. And I actually saw a video of the boys. They, like, surrounded this one boy because there's, like, fucking 4 of them. And then at this point, the kids that she was connecting to of the previous set of kids were starting to come hang out with them too. So
It's like a whole army of them
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
exactly. So there's, like,
All
this
these
video.
inbred little.
Yeah, it is straight up. They're like, there's this video, and these boys just all start beating the crap out of just this, like, town boy that's there. It's disgusting. It's a video you can watch online. It's gross.
Ew, there's it's like a real thing.
Like, somebody was recording. It was Scotty who was recording it, and then the brothers were, like, beating this poor kid up. But, like, that's how they were.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So Sherry's new goal was to have her sons get girls pregnant and give her babies. And that's just what she did.
So she could molest her them.
Mm-hmm. Preferably girls.
Stop.
Fucking disgusting.
Stop.
Yep. So I know this story is a lot of bouncing back and forth, but it's important for us to be aware of all of the areas in regards to this fucked up storyline. So we're going to talk about Vera Jo again. Vera Jo would be born with intellectual disabilities. She would not only be living in the same building as the woman who would later orchestrate her murder, but she would also endure a lot of abuse of her own. Willard Reigle, her father, would sexually abuse her when she was only 11 years old, which he ended up in prison for, a 20-year sentence.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah, for that,
For molestation of a child.
Lucky
you
he
don't
got
see that
anything.
often.
right?
All right.
So, Vera Jo had ADHD, and her family would often say she had the mind of like an 8 to 12-year-old. In 2000,
Which is, what's her nuts fucking perfect.
yeah, that's what she wants.
Prime piece right there.
Exactly. In 2006, Sherry instructed her son Zachary to start a relationship with Vera, who was 19 at the time, and Zachary only was 13 years old.
Ew.
Yeah. it's just such a hard thing because Vera's 19, but, like, it was said she's, like, an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Which
like, it's
means
just...
she's mentally disabled.
Yeah.
So she's incapacitated. She's not able to make those kinds of decisions.
No. At this point, Vera had been living in her aunt's home only a couple of blocks away, and Sherry knew where she was. She had kept her eye on her for years up until this point, waiting for the perfect time to manipulate her. Now, Zachary also had some cognitive disabilities himself, as did most of Sherry's kids. At this point, it's important to note that Sherry had all 4 children from her second marriage in her house, along with some kids from her previous set of 5 children living and going over there, which includes Scotty, Michael, and Joshua.
So the boys.
Yes, because they're the only ones who, like, fell for that.
Well, yeah.
So...
Never mind.
Like, Scotty especially is sad because he, like, is a product of inbreeding. Straight up, his mom and her first cousin had him. Like, it's bad. So, these boys would engage in drug dealing, gang fights, just everything that they could. Sherry was also known to be involved with selling meth, along with her children. When Vera moved in with the family, she would start engaging in these illegal activities as well. However, there was a severe mental health crisis going on in this house, not only with the children and the adults, but also Vera. Vera thought in the beginning that Sherry really loved and cared about her. She treated her kindly and gave her a new home to stay in. However, Sherry had some severely fucked up ulterior motives, and it wouldn't take long for Sherry to start abusing Vera. Sherry would often mentally and emotionally attack Vera, telling her things like her mom hates her and getting her to sign over her monthly Social Security deposit, which everyone in this house all had their own, and that's what they were living off of.
No one had any real jobs or anything.
Yeah, but that's like a big thing. Like,
I've seen it.
The abuse started to turn physical once Zachary realized he could use Vera as a punching bag. Many times he would just beat her. Zachary's mother wanted him to get Vera pregnant, and unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. Scotty, Sherry's firstborn child, hated when they would beat on Vera. It's been said that when Scotty was there, Vera often felt really safe because everyone kind of just left her alone because he was super just... I think Scotty kind of had a crush on her.
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty
doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
Remember that shit?
He thinks Fiona's out shopping. But she's under me.
Why are you singing so slow? Stop it. Stop it. Scotty doesn't know. Yeah. So,
Sorry.
Everything would change on November 4th, 2009. Vera would deliver Willadine, a name Sherry chose for the baby.
Oh, I like the name, though.
Yeah, same, but she didn't even get to pick her own baby's name. 6 weeks early, after Sherry forced her to drink castor oil because she wanted the baby to have the same birthday as her.
She was just impatient. She wanted to molest that little baby right now.
Mm-hmm. So Sherry's, like, birthday, November 3rd. Willadine was November 4th. So Sherry convinced Zachary to sign over custody to Sherry, as it would be more difficult to convince Vera. Once Willadine was born, Sherry got upset when the nurses handed Willadine to Vera and instructed them to give her the baby instead. And I was wondering, like, can't they report...
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Motherfucker better try that.
But, like, in those situations, can't the nurses report that?
They should. But
And they should, yes.
Yeah.
But what year was this?
2009.
Oh, well, they should have reported.
Yeah.
That should have been something that was reported.
And then they would have seen immediately, oh,
But
that
it
bitch
also
has fucking
depends,
been molesting our kids
like,
for
where was it
decades
born?
and decades.
Was it born, like, in a teeny tiny ass little rinky-dink hospital?
Ohio? Or are we talking,
Probably.
like, Cleveland or where?
It definitely still should have been
Abouts
reported.
in the state, is it?
I don't know exactly where she was born. I know in Ohio, but they lived in a small town. So
they have to go to a city to have it.
To a city.
So, or, I don't know, we've got little rural
Well, by
hospitals
2009,
around here.
It should have been reported.
It should have. And it could have saved a lot of lives in the fucking beginning. Once Willadine came home from the hospital, Vera wanted to be the best mother she could. However, Sherry would not allow for them to have any relationship. She would occasionally allow Vera to hold her or see her baby, but as the pattern continued, Sherry would take Willadine into her bedroom every night for the first 6 months of her life, just like she had once done to her firstborn daughter, Maria.
What a sick... What the fuck are you reading me right now?
Right?
No.
Oh
It's
my
so
god,
bad.
this is like, makes me so mad.
It makes you want to fucking punch shit and throw shit.
And throw up.
Yeah. She had also made it clear that if Vera ever disobeyed her, she would kill Willadine.
No, she wouldn't. No, the fuck she wouldn't.
She's fucking crazy. So,
Nope, fuck that.
Vera was like battered woman at this point.
Well, and she had cognitive fucking
Disabilities.
deficiency,
Yeah, she's disabilities, so...
whatever. So it was like all she knew, and
To
you know,
her,
she
it was
couldn't-
very.
I know
like,
it's easy for us to sit around and be like, "Oh my
No,
god,"
but
what
like
the fuck?
that's what's.
We would never
yeah.
be in this situation.
No,
No.
exactly.
So we can't comprehend like what that would feel like, or
It's
you want a place to live, you're gonna give me your fucking baby. it's no,
And
I
she
mean,
was
but
like-
I mean,
but she didn't. She just.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's just we're fucking pissed off at Sherry. Fucking sugar baby.
pleb.
Club.
Yeah,
pissed
fucking
off at
bitch.
Sherry is an understatement.
Yeah.
I want that bitch dead.
Dead. Well,
Sherry dead.
dead.
Vera-
Die, bitch.
I don't know. I didn't want
Fuck
her
you,
dead.
pleb.
She just is weak.
She's so
Fucking
fucked up.
man up, bitch.
Yeah.
You got a baby now.
Take care of it and fucking
Sorry. Welcome to the world. It's a fucking cruel place to be, and you got a kid, so
be fucking normal.
Get it
Break
together.
the trauma. As if things weren't already terrible for Vera Jo, the death of Sherry's oldest son from the second bunch of kids would make her even more insane.
okay.
And it was
Kevin Jr. Punky. Yeah, Punky.
So he dies.
Punky, who is Sherry's favorite kid at this point, was walking with his girlfriend looking for heroin when he was struck by a vehicle and died on August 5th, 2010. Sherry would blame the death of Punky on Vera, saying she was the one who killed him, but this lie would come later as she would first tell family members that Heather, his girlfriend at the time, was the one who pushed him in front of the car. This created an even worse situation for Vera Jo to be living in. Mind you, she was at home when this incident occurred with Punky. She was not even anywhere
Right,
near
so how's
there.
it her fault?
Yeah, exactly. In October, the Brooks would move to a new house in the same town and purchase a pet pig, in which Sherry made Vera share a room with. It said,
I mean,
What's wrong with that?
I like pigs.
yeah, right? But this, yeah, no. So it said that she would often sleep in the pig's feces and urine.
Okay, that's
yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Why,
right.
Why'd she do that?
I mean, like, clean up, you know?
Exactly.
girl.
The beatings were now a constant, multiple times a day occurrence. There would be a police report later when Vera's sister had called the cops to try and get them to remove her from the house in February, which would only be 1 month before she would be killed. A female officer would take her a few houses down to ask her who did this to her, as she had a broken nose and clearly looked like she had just, was brutally beaten. Vera would stand in silence as the entire family would stare at her from the porch, with Sherry bringing out Willadine. Once Vera saw Willadine, she told the cops that nothing happened. This part really just pissed me off, because take her somewhere else. Why would you take her so she can still see those
Why
people?
would you be questioning her in front of?
She's not going to tell you.
Yeah,
When
I
they're
mean,
all
where
watching
did
her.
it come from? Yeah.
Let me play devil's advocate because it's a small town, right? They're
Yeah,
not-
which makes it even
Worse,
worse.
'cause
Those
people
motherfuckers know what's going
I
on over
understand,
there.
and I totally agree.
But
with
also,
you.
they don't feel sorry for her,
Right.
But they don't realize that she's not all there.
Yeah.
right. Because if
And
she can,
probably
if
a
she can
victim,
talk
yeah.
and whatever, it's just different.
Well, I mean-
not everybody is me. Not everybody is you. Not everybody is you.
No.
Yeah.
Not everybody can read that from somebody and be like, okay, you know what? Let me take a second and pull
Something's
this
not
lady.
right. Yeah.
But for
But
me,
as a
as a cop, you
it's kind
should
of your
have
job.
those. You should have those gauges on people.
And so
No.
let's go back because they got through the nurses, right? When the nurses should have said something.
Something.
And now they're
Her
are
family's
they
trying to
gonna
get her
through
out.
the cops
Yeah.
here?
Definitely, she was fucking failed by all the systems.
And let me just say, right now, this was just a police record, the latest one, closest to her death. There were multiple times that her family called the police to do a wellness check and shit on her. And they would show up and she'd be beaten. And Vera would just say, she fell down the stairs.
Is this because she was in fear of Willadine?
Honestly, after knowing about this story, I think Vera probably thought as long as she was there, Willadine would be okay.
Yeah, I imagine.
So she just dealt with it. But the cops knew this was going on for months. They were there checking on her, doing nothing. And then
then CPS should have
stepped
stepped
in.
in and taken that baby too.
yeah, I mean,
Obviously,
the
they
cops
know the
definitely
history
should
of
have
this.
notified CPS for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely. And we'll get into this cops again in just a minute when I read this, because it's just what the fuck are you guys doing? This would become a common occurrence as Vera would constantly tell officers nothing happened and she simply fell. By the time 2011 had rolled around, Sherry was bored with Willadine, claiming she needed another baby and didn't want Vera in the house anymore. Sherry started starving Vera and would only allow her to eat the leftovers off of the plates they had just finished eating. Sherry would also force Vera to eat her feces, blood, and trash out of the garbage.
Why do you do this?
Right?
Why do you do this to us?
Because she's sick and twisted.
What the fuck is going on?
Right? So, on top of this, there was no running water in this house.
So they're
Oh.
all
So-
shitting on top of each other.
I can
Super
just
fun.
imagine
and they have
the
a
smell.
pig in the
I
house.
love how my
Yes.
sister's holding her teacup. everything.
Right? But this goes back to the cops, because Don't act like you don't smell that house a fucking block away, bitch. What are you even talking about? No abuse is going on in there. Like, what are you talking about?
I cannot defend.
It's so fucking
I don't want to defend these motherfuckers.
I mean, I don't want to either, but I always like to throw in, like, you know, a devil's advocate moment.
You can't,
and be like, hey,
what is
whatever. But at this point, and then when you brought up the fact that, okay, so there were multiple calls, I just didn't put that in there. Okay, so that is, this is completely on was it the police department or the sheriff's office?
They said police records, so I'm guessing police.
Police, probably
department.
the local police.
Yeah.
So they probably were all knowing each other and blowing each other.
Yeah.
And
they probably were getting meth from her.
they were messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on. There's got to be some things going on here, right?
I'm just asking questions, Janet.
I mean, you're right. You're right. That's right.
Right. So it was to the point where now Sherry wanted Vera to die. Now, 2 more people are going to enter this story. Nicole Peters and Daniel Bixler Jr. Does that sound familiar to you guys?
Oh, hell no.
Let's hear it.
Daniel Bixler Jr. is the son of Danny Bixler, Sherry's first cousin and the father of her firstborn son, Scotty.
Ew. Let's hear it.
All right,
Kaylee.
So,
I ain't got all fucking day.
Nicole Peters is known to be crazy, kind of someone who just always is looking for a fight. She was 17 years old when she started getting into a very crazy argument with her neighbors that just continued to escalate. Her 21-year-old boyfriend, Daniel, rushed to Nicole's house and threatened the lives of the neighbors. He was recently released from prison, so he decided that he and Nicole needed to flee and hide. Where do they go? Sherry's house.
Of course, best place.
Yeah, because she'd be hiding all the stuff and things.
She'd be hiding all the stuff and things.
Yeah, she does. Now, it's said that Sherry didn't even like Daniel Bixler much, probably from her previous relationship with his father. However,
Well, yeah, obviously.
However, she knew she could use him to
I'm
do.
so confused. Hold on. Daniel Bixler
is
Junior.
Junior is the son of Danny Bixler,
Who is the father
but Sherry's not the mother.
No,
Oh,
not
for
of this
fuck's
one,
sake.
but
Not of this one.
she is the mother of her firstborn,
which is Scotty.
which was with
Which is a sibling of Daniel Bixler.
Yes.
Junior.
Junior.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my fucking
Yeah, right,
God.
right.
Get on my fucking level.
For real. So she knew she could use him to do her dirty work. At this point in the story, Vera's beatings were so bad that she just stayed in her room all day alone until they would call her into Sherry's room to beat her, and then she'd go back to her bedroom. Something I'd like to note is they never beat Vera anywhere else. It was only in Sherry's room. And some speculated that Sherry was aroused by this.
Well,
Obviously,
Yeah.
she's fucking disgusting. She only takes up babies into her room at night.
Yeah.
ew,
Yeah. So,
This lady.
I need a shower.
right? It's so
can't.
disgusting. So,
Really bad.
Sherry's mindset was that she wanted Vera dead, but she didn't want her sons to go to jail. So once Daniel showed up, she told him that Vera pushed Punky into the car, killing him.
Well, yeah, because she wanted some shit to fucking happen to Vera, but she didn't want her kids to get in trouble for it. So
Exactly.
let's take Danny Jr.
Yep.
Fucking bitch. I hate this fucking bitch.
For real. She also would give Daniel drugs like cocaine, and for about a week, Sherry was supplying Daniel with any drugs he wanted. But now, she wanted to get Nicole involved too. So, she decided to tell Nicole that Vera had been sleeping with Danny, which, at this point, could have been true, as it's been reported that Vera was forced to sleep with everyone in the house.
Yeah, not on her own free will.
Oh my God.
Keyword there, forced. So, here we go again with this shit. It became this sexual thing for Nicole and Danny to beat her. Sherry said while chuckling in an interview, "I am so dead ass, I will show you guys later."
Ew, no.
Nicole took the paddle and beat Vera's ass, and Vera had a bruise on her ass, and all Vera was in was a t-shirt and her underwear, and the more Vera screamed, the more it became sexual. I think Nicole gets off on a lot of violence, and Nikki, she was getting real excited, and then she'd go over there and start kissing on Danny, like she was being turned on for what she was doing.
Oh
End
my
quote.
God. Sick.
Disgusting.
Right? So, Sherry goes on and on about this one instance in the interview, and it's honestly just like so fucking disturbing and gross. As Danny and Nicole would go upstairs to have sex and would return to continue to beat Vera.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
I don't know what the fuck.
I understand that you're inbred and you're like a product of like
Your
all of this
environment,
fucking
but, like,
shit,
holy
but at the
fuck.
same time, like,
What are you doing?
come the fuck on.
I'm starting to get quiet because I just
Yeah.
am like, I can't do this.
Yeah. So,
Put someone out of their misery right now, Kaylee.
yeah. Shortly after this
It's
incident,
up to you, Buttercup.
it's up to me. So, shortly after this incident, Sherry would bring up the lie that Vera had pushed Punky into the car, and it was up to them to avenge his death. This is, like, gonna be, like, the last, like, really, really bad part, so prepare.
No. I don't want any more bad. Like, it can't get any worse.
It's pretty fucking disgusting.
It's pretty disgusting. 3 days of torture would continue. Zachary would brutally beat Vera and sexually assault her with a toothbrush, which left her almost unable to walk the next day.
Toothbrush?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
But,
not
like,
okay, but
Like, what the fuck?
I'm here. I'm ready to hear the rest.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm ready for it to be over.
I'm not, but let's just do it.
And then that day, Danny and Nicole would force Vera into the bathroom, where Nicole would stab her in the leg and stick her finger into the wound. The same day, Chucky and other members in the family forced Vera to eat dog feces and garbage.
Gross.
What the
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope, I know.
So, we should all take a moment to realize that as a human race,
We're disgusting.
Terrible.
We are disgusting.
Are disgusting.
It's so disgusting. I can't.
You know, the words that you say to people every fucking day matter, and the way that you fucking treat people every day, even if you're like, you know what, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah, it's not an excuse.
But you don't know what this motherfucker's going through.
And what people are capable of doing. So, get this over with.
So-
Just say this last stupid thing so
Okay.
I can be like, okay. I don't want to hear any more about this.
stupid fucking thing.
On March 26th, Danny, Zachary, Nicole, and Chucky took turns stabbing Vera.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next versions of this story are all messed up since everyone has a different story, but the most common goes as follows. Danny and Nicole forced Vera to take a walk with them. Vera knew what was to come as she was nervous to go. Vera would put on her shoes, walk out the door, and say to Sherry, allegedly, we'll get into this later, as she shut the door, "Good night, sugar babe." Please. Danny and Nicole walked Vera to the train near the home where they would stab her to the point where the knife became so dull it couldn't go through her clothes anymore. They forced Vera to strip and continued stabbing. After Vera could no longer fight back, they laid her sideways on the track. They walked away, leaving her there to die. Around 2 a.m., a train was headed towards Vera. The conductor thought a dead deer was laying in the tracks and could not stop in time. Once he stopped, he realized it was a woman. The conductor would notify police, and the police would question Sherry. Sherry told the police that Vera had a quote-unquote black boyfriend in a nearby town that probably killed her.
I can't.
There are so many things wrong with this right now.
Sure. I don't know. It's probably a black
Like,
boyfriend.
and for what fucking reason?
It's
So
so
annoying.
disgusting. Like, the
Not only-
racism,
Bitch, it was you.
Not only the racism, but the fucking why? Why are we killing her?
Exactly.
Like, she's doing
The
everything that
lies.
you fucking want her to do. Why are we fucking killing her?
I
mean,
I'm-
you know, it may
because-
be a sweet fucking release for her because she doesn't have to fucking deal with your shenanigans and your fuckery anymore. But now, on top of that, we're layering it, right? So now we're throwing a black boyfriend in the fucking mix.
And this whole time, they had multiple police reports talking about how she was being abused. And when she finally ends up dead, why even fucking question that bitch?
Right.
Take her right in the fucking shop. What are you doing?
Yeah.
To me, I'm feeling in my head like there are some ties. Because why else is this police department so just like...
Well, they're obviously inbred as well.
Yeah.
It must have been the black man.
And we've lived in small towns our whole life too, so girls, we know how that goes.
Yeah, but
It's like
that's
that.
why it pisses me off.
Me too.
Exactly. When police searched the house, they found Nicole's bloody shirt, the belt that they often used to beat her with, and a lock of Vera's hair. Nicole and Danny would confess to killing Vera, saying that Sherry had instructed them to do so. Danny, Nicole, Zachary, and Michael would all be charged in the death of Vera Jo. Now, when I read this, I was a little like, Michael, okay? Because when you read about this story, he's not a key player.
It's not prevalent, yeah.
Where's Chucky, right?
Right.
But at this point, I'm pretty sure Chucky was still a child. So, but still,
Lucky for him.
juvenile courts exist, so what the fuck are we doing here? Danny was sentenced to 40 years to life for murder. Nicole was sentenced to 23 years on conviction of conspiracy to commit murder. Zachary received 4 years in prison for obstruction of justice, and Michael would be charged with obstruction of justice and sentenced to 30 days in jail, 5 years probation. The real kicker? Sherry would be sentenced to 5 years probation for obstruction of justice, but her 30...
So nobody was ever really fucking charged with her fucking death, or nobody really fucking paid That's not justice in my fucking opinion, because there was multiple of them fucking killing her. And over time, not just at one fucking
exactly
time.
what I was saying. This was going on for a long fucking time. So Sherry would be sentenced to 5 years probation for obstruction of justice, but her 30 days in county jail would be suspended due to her foot problems she blamed on Vera.
Fuck that bitch.
How did she blame it on Vera?
I'm sure she found a way.
She said when Vera lived there, Sherry made her give her foot massages. And apparently one time, I don't know, this story doesn't really make a lot of sense, but essentially something fell on Sherry's foot and it was Vera's fault. It was like a rock or something that was pushed onto Sherry's foot.
I would have done a lot more to Sherry if I was Vera than giving her a goddamn foot problem.
Yeah, so
she's lucky.
And it was on accident, that story was, regardless anyways, so I don't know. But the Brooks family, besides Danny and Nicole, still live in the same house in Findlay, Ohio. Zachary Brooks would go on to have another child in 2015 and would be sent back to prison on convictions for receiving stolen properties and felonies. He was sentenced to 4 years and may be released in November.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's a great time.
Put them back into society. Sherry, Scotty, and Kevin would be arrested on drug trafficking charges, where Sherry would spend 40 months in federal prison on this charge. So she got more time for drug trafficking than she did for orchestrating an entire murder case.
Because that makes fucking sense.
Right?
That makes all the fucking sense in the world.
This is America.
Yep. Other family members have changed their names, but still live in Ohio.
I would fucking change my name, too.
Yeah, you dumbass.
Ain't fucking no way.
Sherry apparently died in 2021, but after trying to find her documents, it says she's 64, so I'm pretty sure she's still alive and well.
Ew, like now?
Yes, still alive. Sherry would say Shannon, the wife of her son Michael, was the mastermind behind this case.
Shannon, the one we've never even heard of
about exactly.
up until this point ever.
She's the kingpin.
Yeah. So like everything
definitely her.
Everything I've said about Sherry and all of her weird things that she's been doing and all the
molestation
and the molestation
of her babies
and whatever
and other people's babies.
So she basically would blame Shannon for all of this.
Of course.
So we shouldn't get it twisted, though, because Shannon was involved in this murder in her own ways, as in being there and doing nothing. Sherry was the one who had her entire fucking family consumed by her cult tactics. Just because she didn't physically kill Vera, she played just as big of a part in this as the one who fucking stabbed her.
Right, she's the boss.
Well, they all fucking
she's the
did.
boss.
It's like a mob leader.
Yeah.
If you had information on it, then you're involved. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
They all were involved.
Something very insane about this case is a documentary that would come out titled Goodnight, Sugar Babe. This documentary is so disturbing. After I did all this research about Sherry and everything she's done in her life, and then having her be the mastermind behind all of this, and to see her with a platform to talk about this case, and there's points where she's laughing, there's points where she's crying. It's like, get her the fuck off the screen and put her on the fucking electric chair. What the fuck are we doing? This is failing Vera again. There's a specific part in this documentary that she is talking and she's sitting there saying, yeah, Vera knew what I said went, because there was times when she would cowered away because she knew she was going to get her ass beat. Like, she's just saying that on this documentary.
Yeah, she's cocky.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
This documentary is like super confusing and contradicting. It included all members of the Brooks family except those like Zachary and Daniel and Nicole who were in jail. And they're all giving their perspectives on the case. And, you know, something that stood out to me also was Scotty. It's interesting because when this documentary was filmed, he seemed very anti-Sherry. But then he goes on to get this drug trafficking charge with her. So obviously that didn't last long. But he was super, like, they were awful to her. Like, he was, like, very much Vera's advocate throughout the whole documentary. And that changed. There's a ton of he said, she said within this film, and it makes the story even more crazy. Willadine would be adopted a week after the murder of Vera. Sherry attempted...
Thank God.
Yeah.
By who, though? Not Sherry.
No. Sherry attempted to fight it, claiming she had custody, but social services, they were not having it.
Finally.
For once, right?
Oh, wow. Good job,
Thanks.
guys. It only took you forever.
Exactly.
Don't worry, she's already been molested.
Here we go.
Annoying.
Zachary would file a petition for custody. However, during a visit with Zachary, Willadine screamed, cried the whole time, and refused to go to him.
Good.
The state of Ohio revoked Zachary's parental rights, and a family adopted Willadine less than a year later. When police found Vera's clothing on the riverbank, this part's like really sad, so just letting you guys know. They discovered a note she had written to Willadine, which said, "I love you, Willadine. You are a good little baby girl to us. I am glad to be your mommy, and I'm glad that I had you on November 4th at 4:16 a.m., 6 pounds, 19 inches long. Mommy loves you." Ugh. So, this note would be given to Willadine's adopted family in hopes that it would someday be in Willadine's hands. Now, the reason I decided to write about this case this week was because
because you're fucking twisted.
Right?
What the fuck, Kaylee? I'm sick of this shit.
It's heavy, man.
You better bring something a little bit more joyful next time. That's all I'm saying.
The reason I decided to write about this case this week was because these ladies around me didn't know about it, so I imagine a few of you listening might not have either. As I wrote this episode and finished my paragraph on Willadine, I knew this was going to be another really heavy episode. However, I think it's important for us to talk about her story and share these hard stories because these people lived this.
My advocate daughter.
And
always.
She's such a fucking...
She is. She's a trooper.
She is.
And I think at the very least, I can bring awareness to that.
Yes.
Vera Jo Messersmith didn't get the justice she deserved, and in many situations, that tends to be the case. This story was a clear example of generational trauma, abuse, neglect, and mental health. Stories like this happen every day across the world, and some people may never have their stories told. So, with that being said, I have a few questions for you guys. In the sense of justice, what do you think that would have looked like, should have looked like for Vera Jo?
Well, I feel like
Sherry needs to die.
They all should have fucking died. But, you know, bare minimum, gotten more than like 5 fucking years of probation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude got 40 years to life or
but
30 years to life.
But only one of them. Mm-hmm. Only the one did.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Sherry should have been put to death and she should have been tried for immediately.
Because not only, you know, was she fucking with Vera, she was fucking with everybody. Like, she was molesting everybody.
Everyone. Nobody was safe around her.
People like that, just kill them. I'm not sorry.
They're not bringing anything
just put them
into
out
this
of their
world.
Misery.
All they are bringing is fucking
no
trauma.
light coming from these people.
Vera Jo's story and life seem to have already been decided for her at a very young age. Do you guys think that this happens more in life than we'd like to think in regards to murder cases?
Yeah.
I mean, more than I think? No, because I think a lot about things. But more than like the average person? Yeah, for sure. It fucking happens all the time and you don't even know it.
No.
It's happening to your fucking neighbor. It's happening all over the fucking place. And you're just either ignoring it or... You know, I don't know.
Like, it's just so strange that Vera would be born and, like, live right next to the lady who was going to kill her someday. And, like, that's just, like, what the fuck? Mind blown. Crazy shit. So, this has been, like, a super big thing about this case that people just think is bullshit on Sherry's part. Do you guys think that Vera Jo really said goodnight, sugar baby, and those were her last words?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't not believe it, but it was probably something that she was conditioned to do.
Yeah. And I also feel like Sherry might have shared it just to be like, we had
a connection. End of the story.
Yeah.
I'm the sugar baby.
She knew she was gonna die.
But like also to make her
kind of
look,
like bragging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it was almost used in a way to make her look kind of like she had a good relationship with Vera because like she was saying goodnight to her and she's like, yeah, goodnight, Vera. Like, the fuck? It's just weird. It's a weird thing that was
stupid,
like heavily focused on. Alright, so I think there's a lot to take away from this story, and I know for those of you listening at home, this is probably a tough episode, but thank you so much for sitting through and hearing Vera's story. Let us know if I left anything out or if you know any more information on this case. Lighter episodes are always in the future, but we hope you guys really enjoyed today's episode.
Maybe not. We got spooky season coming.
Don't worry.
For real.
I'm coming next, so
great.
Yeah, it'll be a little lighter.
It'll be a little fucking weirder.
I was gonna say, mine are always pretty light.
You know I like that history and shit. Me too.
So, we are a bi-weekly podcast, episodes dropping every other Thursday. We hope to educate and creep you guys out, all while sipping on our favorite poisons. You can follow our website directly at thepoisonteaparty.com to listen to new episodes. We're also available on platforms such as Spotify and YouTube. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram. Facebook is especially a great one to interact with and see sneak peeks of future episodes. If there's anything you want us to talk about in future episodes, you can email us at thepoisonteaparty@gmail.com. Don't forget to go share some creepy stories on our website under the Write My Story tab. We would love to hear them. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I hope you didn't drink all of your tea because, well, you've been poisoned.